You think about the generations of Lewises, well, he's just living what he was. You know, that was his family, this is his place. And, you know, I think that's just a sense of belonging for a man, and that's why I think that filling the void is quite difficult, because there are sometimes things that an individual can do when they have it all together like that even a collective can't. Because the influence, the history, the articulation, it's all wrapped up in the one individual, and he can move people to action. And that's, I think, the key to John Lewis.
John was the bridge for Fayetteville from being a small town and retaining that small town sensibility and essence to also being a community of the future. We need those guiding individuals who have the future vision to take us in that direction wisely and gently, if we're going to preserve at the same time that profound sense of community that makes Fayetteville what it is. He was so proud of this as a university town, and he was always seeking ways to blend the city and the university in a positive way and meshing them so that they were a united team and not something that was divisive.
It was like a magical place. It was, I mean, when he talked about things happening, he made them happen. And they were tied to education and the things that are terribly important. And he was right on target every time. One of the things he seemed most proud about was that he was a member of that class that was the first integrated class in the state of Arkansas, here in Fayetteville. And he mentioned that a number of times.
I'll never forget one time about, 3 or 4 years ago, we were at the farmer's market on a Saturday. It was a beautiful summer day, and the farmer's market was in full swing, and there were 1,000 people with their dogs and their kids, and they're buying produce and music on every corner, and it was that quintessential moment on the Fayetteville Square, and I was just soaking it up, and John came and stood next to me, and we stood in silence as we just kind of absorbed what it was we were watching. And I turned to him, I said, "Can you believe we're in Arkansas?" And he said, "We're not in Arkansas, we're in Fayetteville." And that summed up so much about this community.
He invested himself in things that made people want to stay here. So his legacy was to create other people with a sense of the personal history connected to Fayetteville that he had. John left a town that would raise, I hope, if we're lucky, more John Lewises.
I think the challenge to the future would be that we need to develop our human resources and educate our children and protect our natural resources. And those two things are what makes Fayetteville such a wonderful place to live.